Hey, well-read baddies. Welcome to another episode of She Well Read. I'm Alana.
And I'm Samra.
And today we are discussing the first section of I'm Glad My Mom Died, which is chapters 1 through 6. And yeah, I'm ready.
We're here.
We're ready for it. It's a lot already.
Yeah. The last week was just a tease.
It was a deep tease because we gonna get right on into it.
And we forgot tissues.
Damn.
So,
you know, it's going to be a little pat.
We're going to figure it out.
But first off, shout out corner. Follow everywhere at She Well Read. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we now have an Amazon storefront.
Yes!
We were against it for so long.
We were trying to be better people.
More sustainable.
We thought we were doing something, but
we were.
And we
are.
We are and
Right.
were and continue to. But like there's a lot of indie authors
Right.
that we've talked to.
And they're only on Amazon.
Exactly.
Or like not on Bookshop. Yeah.
So we were like, well, how many have we had? And then it just kept stacking up.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Right. We were like, we got to support them still. So
Yes.
we made an Amazon storefront. We are going to be adding lots of indie authors, indie books. So stay tuned for that. If you are an indie author, let us know. Send us an email at shewellread@gmail.com and we'll add you to our storefront. Oh, and we have Patreon now.
I know,
This
it
is all the
just
new
keeps
stuff.
going.
Yeah. I was like, what's the next?
Back in business. Look,
That part.
we've been working.
We've been working during this break. We were on a break for a reason. So we could get some stuff together. I had to get myself together.
We had to do a little zhuzh.
A little zhuzh.
We had to
We had to
think,
yes, that.
renew.
And recycle. Stop.
So yeah.
But yeah, so we have 3 tiers. They range from $3 to $10. I'm pretty sure the mid tier is like $5, which is basically you'll get a monthly call with us and we'll go over what we've talked about so far in the episodes and just a whole bunch of other stuff. A nice little kiki. If you've ever wanted to just talk to us, that's how you're going to be able to do it. And so yeah, so check us out, Patreon. Everything is linked in the description, so go check that out under more links. It's all of our links right there. Coffee break. I wanted to ask you this because I've been seeing so much about it. The fashion girlies are quaking.
We are. Okay.
As our resident fashion girly.
Look, I was
What's
like,
their,
we
like-
have to do a whole episode. Like,
We don't got time for that.
no, not now, but later.
Oh.
Stay tuned in. Whatever the fuck you're supposed to say. Tap in everywhere so you can keep up with us. I'll probably put on the Patreon, like, because I do kind of want to like express myself, like my other interests. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like the Patreon's a good place to do that.
Yeah, it's a place you'll get to know us a lot better.
And there's a ton of fashion people that I want to interview.
Oh.
And so we can get like deeper into this, but basically the rundown is we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yes, because I saw that, is it Law Roach?
La Roach, he is world-renowned stylist of mainly Zendaya is what we know him for, but he's worked with Rihanna as well, Beyonce.
What's that girl who signed to Dior? Is it Anna Taylor?
Yeah, that girl. The girl who was in the chess.
The chess thing.
The
Queen's Gambit.
Yes. He's dressed
Or maybe it's
everybody.
Anywho,
Anya Taylor.
I was like,
Anya. Yeah. I literally just saw her in Ulta because she's the face of everything. Go, Anna. Love to see her.
Anya.
But he is huge. Look him up. Look up his looks. He's dressed all of the fashion girlies. And so
I looked it up. I was like, iconic.
he is an icon, and he's like one of the biggest stylists right now. And he just, on a Tuesday, posted a fucking Instagram post.
Yeah.
And it just had a picture. It looked like a meme. Like,
yeah, it looked kind of like a haha. And somebody was like,
Yes.
it's not April 1st. Like, this isn't funny.
It wasn't funny, and it was serious. I don't know. There's like some speculation about why he said he's retired, and he just basically was like, there's been a lot of gossip, and you know, if it was just about the clothes, I would do this for the rest of my life, but unfortunately it is not, and it's like a game, and it's politics, and it's,
which I feel like is like every industry. Unfortunately, it is every industry. I feel like you have to deal with that.
An industry like Hollywood and stuff, like it does come with the territory, and so it's upsetting. Some people, I've heard a speculation by only one person, so I don't think it's true, but it could be, and it's basically, this part is not just speculation, but Zendaya just signed a contract with LV.
I saw that.
For several years. And so she'll be kind of restricted in what she can wear on red carpets. And La Roche is supposedly was not a part of the deal.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. But then I saw today, like literally right before I got here, and it was like, but he's still going to style Zendaya. Like, he made it very clear, very public. He was like,
did he?
Yeah, because so the girlie, that's why I want to ask you about this. Yeah, because people have been like,
posted.
People were like, Miss Zendaya girl, like, what you finna do?
Because he made Zendaya a fashion girl.
Yeah.
Like, he built her.
Like, he's been, I saw it was like he's been working with her since he was 14 or something like that.
Yes.
For like ever.
Yeah, childhood shit.
Yeah, he tweeted. He was basically just like, "Oh yeah, I'ma still be styling Zendaya. Like, that's family."
Tweeted.
Yeah, he tweeted.
God.
He tweeted.
But he said he was retiring, so it just threw the whole world in a frenzy.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theory is that he's still gonna be a stylist, or he is still gonna style. Like, he's definitely not retiring. He just wanted to create an uproar to prove his worth, his influence.
If that was the case, he did it.
He did, because everybody was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
yeah, all of my whole, and I don't even know how I got on that side of TikTok. My whole feed was like, everybody on Tuesday was just like,
it was shocked. Big for a Tuesday. I was at work and I just said, what the
hold up.
I really posted on my fashion account like, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, so I don't know if he was doing that. The Met is about to happen,
right?
So maybe he was trying to prove something. Maybe there's a larger picture, because at his age, which he's grown, he's like 44 years old, and at his mature age, you would think kind of the territory, like you said, it is Hollywood, you know what I mean? That comes in every industry. Yeah. And to me, if you love something so much and you're literally in your prime, why stop? So to me, I was like, there's gotta be more here.
Yeah. And it's also the thing is, there's also the measure of knowing your value, and like you were saying, this could be for him to be like, I'm gonna prove a point to you bitches one moment. And if so, he did that, right? And have you seen the video of he's going with Zendaya at Fashion Week in Milan, and and he had to there wasn't a seat for him.
He had to sit in the second row, which people are upset about that. They're like, he's egotistical if he thinks he deserves to be on the front row. He needs to just check himself. He's not a celebrity. Chill out.
But to his own right, he is a celebrity.
And maybe that's what he was trying to prove.
Right. And my thing is, the stylists are the one who are dressing the people, so you would think you'd care more about what the stylist thinks of the collection, or it's oh, I want to put that piece on this person that I know I'm working for this event on.
I am the audience,
right?
But in this social media world, when they're posting videos on the front row, people want to see their favorite celebs, aka Zendaya, or whoever was sitting next to him, Emma Stone, the A-list stars. That's who they want to see on the front row. And so people that are actually in fashion get pushed to the side. And that's a growing problem, actually. Just
interesting.
Generally.
So it's a whole thing. But yeah, I wanted to see, I was like, how much does Samara know? How much has Samara been paying attention to? I was like, I know a lot.
Well, you just put me on because I did not know. I don't even follow him on Twitter.
I saw it. So there's this girl I follow on TikTok. Her name, I think her like username is Simply Simone. I'll tag it in the description. But I saw it on her feed. She was like, she like showed, yeah. She keeps me
the TikTok girl who I've been researching.
Yeah,
I was at work like, what?
Yeah. So that's interesting. We stay tuned, I guess. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. And lastly, for coffee break, you want to talk about the feedback that we got on the, I think it was only just 2 on the story.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So keep checking the stories. Instagram stories on Tuesdays. That's probably when I'll be posting my weekly questions. Me and Alana talked the other day. We did a little chat and we decided that we just wanted to figure out because we had preconceived notions about Miss Jeanette McCurdy. So we wanted to know what our audience was thinking. And so thank you to everyone that did answer. I got one answer that was, she's a hot girl. So I don't know what that was in. She was a hot girl, I guess, on iCarly.
Or maybe it's like she's a bad bitch for like making this book, period.
Yeah, that's why I wanted some elaboration. I don't know. But she is a bad bitch in every right.
Right.
Even as a teenager.
Right.
She was the funniest part of iCarly.
She was iCarly. Let's come on.
Real.
Be fucking for real.
Sam? Sam and Cat.
See, I was gonna say Sam and Cat. And then what was the other one?
Oh, and the other one was what was it?
I think it was hi Kinsey. I think it was Kinsey.
Oh yeah, she said she did nothing wrong.
And she didn't.
Which I was like, you're right, because the teen stars all went wild.
Oh, I took that as like she was in the sense of the book, like she was valid. She didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, see.
This is the perspectives. This is what we're all about.
Which I was thinking about it as the teen stars, because I also thought about, I was like, Disney stars really went crazy. Like Nickelodeon stars didn't really do so much besides like Zoe.
that we heard. Wow. Zoe was like the Nick star.
But after Zoe, they were like, y'all are on lockdown. I don't know what they did, but no, everybody else was chill. Like Ariana turned into a whole
pop
icon.
Queen.
Who would have even thought?
Who would have thought?
But yeah, Sam was always really chill. Like I didn't hear any news.
Yeah, like when this book came out, that was the first where I was like, oh shit.
Yes. Oh, you're right. So they maybe just kept it under wraps better.
Yeah, that's I was like, what am I thinking? That's
you were just saying that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not putting this into words though, but it's that.
You're so right.
It was like the Disney ones we knew more about.
A little bit crazy as a teenager, especially a teenager with money, income.
Yeah,
can't imagine because my broke up.
Right, I was about to say mine broke up.
I was just sitting at home like, what am I gonna do this weekend?
Right. No, literally.
With $5 in my pocket.
Oh my God, $20 in my pocket. Not even that. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the chapter. We were like,
yeah,
it was close enough.
Something silly.
I was like,
I don't know where I went with that.
Get
into the chapter. I like slowed it down.
Yeah, a little bit, and I was trying to keep up.
You're improvising.
You know what? I'm here for it. It is what it is. So we start at the prologue, as we mentioned at the end of last episode.
What a prologue. And can we just go ahead and say trigger warning?
Yes. I mean, this whole season needs a giant trigger warning stamp.
Caution
signs, like all the works.
I'm glad we're breaking it down bite size. Like, yes. I did have someone in my DM saying they devoured this book in one sitting. And I just feel like that, I mean, kudos to you. But I don't know if I could do it because even the prologue, I have to take a beat.
Right.
It literally opens with her mom dying.
Yeah, like that's how we start. I was like, hello?
Scene.
Right. set the scene. Like, yeah, her mom's literally in a coma. She's in the ICU. And all of her siblings are gathering around being like, that thing that people do, I guess, when somebody's about to die. It's like, they say some wild thing thinking they're just going to, like, pop up.
I know. It's like, and then,
yeah, it's like damn, it's not working. Yeah, and so like each of her older brothers go because I didn't realize she was the baby of the group.
All right.
And they all nothing happens, and then everybody leaves the room, and it's just her and her mom, and she's like, "I'm 89 pounds," and I was like, 89? God damn.
Oh my God. And to be fair, we don't know how old she is.
At
right?
this time. It was 2013. I'm acting. I'm saying that.
Math? Okay.
I was trying, but I was like, I don't even know how old she is now, so I can't do the math.
There's not a lot of like, I'm this age in this moment so far.
Yeah, for this one, yeah. But
even in the next chapter.
I think, well, yeah, she's like 6. It's like 6 to 10.
Oh, 6 to 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, she's so
I had to
grown
look.
and mature.
Right.
In this book. Her thoughts are very mature.
Yeah.
And so I was confused.
You couldn't tell. Yeah, I had to like look and be like, okay, right here she says she's 6. Like this is her 6th birthday. And I had to keep track that way, kind of.
So in this moment,
she's
like on iCarly?
No, this was 2013. This was like right before we went to college.
Oh,
iCarly was done by then.
Like,
this might be maybe Sam and Cat.
Okay.
Maybe Sam and Cat.
Fuck. Because at that point, she's definitely older than 16. I was like, how old is she?
Yeah, she's older in this moment. But yeah, she like says I'm 89 pounds and like that does not, like her mom dies. And literally the last line of the prologue is, so without my mom, who am I supposed to be now? And then it's like before, in the before time.
It just sets it up.
It just sets it up.
It was just crazy to like take us right there and then just be like backing it up.
Right, like all the way up back to my early childhood.
Yeah.
Which that's what we're about to get into, chapter 1, which we are introduced to her family and we see where the trauma begins.
Wow, let's speak on it. Do you want to start from the bottom, the siblings, and then work our way up?
Well, we start with meeting her grandparents. And we see how...
Okay, we'll go from the top down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We start with meeting her grandparents, and she's talking about, it's like Christmas morning, and she's like carefully peeling the wrapping paper because she knows her mom wants to like save it and like
hoard it.
Right? We learn that she is a hoarder. And she's like, I'm being careful not to rip the paper. Everybody's watching. Her grandma's there. Her grandpa's there too, taking pictures. Her dad's there, half asleep. Her siblings are all there. Like, it's like almost business as usual. And I like have this page marked because I have all this stuff highlighted. I have so many sticky notes in this thing at this point. And she's talking about, we are introduced to her brothers, Marcus, Dustin, and Scotty, which is who she dedicated the book to.
Oh, hold up. Let me go see that.
Yeah, it's right there in the beginning.
Okay, because I didn't know at the time when I read that.
Like who those people were.
Oh, okay. Breaking it down. Marcus is the together one. Dustin is the smart one. And then Scott is the sensitive one, or Scotty.
Yeah, he's nostalgic too.
Nostalgia.
And so she's saying her mom's watching her, and she's talking about how she tells us about how her mom like is always glamified. Like she never goes anywhere without her makeup done and her hair done. And she's like, this quote literally, she says, "It's so much that she doesn't need that I wish she wouldn't use, but I can see her underneath it."
Oh, right.
And it's like, it made me think about like how young we were seeing like these things that shape our future almost, of like how we're gonna like view ourselves because of the way that the adults around us viewed themselves. And that difference of like, am I gonna do that? Or like, you know, like...
Yeah, it's like the path is already paved for you, so it's just easy to go down that path. Right. But yeah, her mom's like 5 foot or 4'11". So she's always wearing heels. Yep. And just like interesting how like the insecurities, like you think it's like, you think it's just your mom's routine. But at the time, I wonder, like, did she know, like, the insecurity behind it, or is she just writing this now from her perspective?
Right. I was thinking about that too as we were reading these chapters, because I was like, maybe my trauma is like, everybody's trauma is different. You process it differently. I don't remember specifics like she's giving us these specifics.
I know. I wish my memory was like that.
Right. Like, I can remember like instances and like blurry moments from like when I was that age, but I cannot remember like she's like, I'm peeling, and like those specific details. I can't remember that with my trauma personally. I know it's bad.
She might have worked with like a therapist or something, because I know that once I'm like being asked questions and I have time to think it through, I can get there sometimes.
Yeah.
And I've heard there's different types of like hypnotherapy.
Oh yeah, is it EBRM?
I don't know.
I think so. I'm gonna be doing it soon.
Oh.
So yes, it's like, it's not.
You could tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's like, it's not hypnosis, but like kind of like hypnosis.
Is it the cognitive one?
I think so. Don't quote me on that.
CBT. I think I did CBT, but I don't know if that's exactly. I remember us talking about it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, but so, she's opening her presents.
Oh,
and
but one thing I thought was weird on page 5. Is that where you are?
Yeah.
Okay, so she has to say she loves this gift. That's where I was going.
Oh,
that's where you're going?
Where she's like opening the present. It's her 6th birthday, and she's like, I like Rugrats, but everything about this present is wrong. Like, it's Angelica, her least favorite character.
Oh my god, I used to hate Angelica too, but secretly love her.
Not secretly. Not because what's her doll's name?
Who?
Angelica's little doll.
Oh, I don't remember.
But she's like your image on TikTok though, and she was your image forever on Twitter. The doll, Susie. Yeah, the Susie doll.
Oh shit.
No, it wasn't Susie. That was a character. Anywho, the doll, whatever the name was your profile picture. That's why I thought you would have known the name.
No. No.
But it's Angelica, and it has flowers on it, and she absolutely hates it. But like you said, she has to love it.
Right.
And like show this appreciation to her mom for this gift.
I feel like there were so many times in my childhood where I like hid my sadness or disappointment. And so I just really felt that. I was like, especially gifts, because I'm such a gift person. To me, I'm like, a gift shows me how like well you know me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so deep about it.
Yeah.
And so I love giving gifts. But I felt like nobody understood me well enough to like get me a gift that like really hit my heart.
Yeah.
It's like people were getting me gifts that they thought I would like, but like didn't know me. And so it just made me feel so alone.
Yeah.
Opening presents, and it just becomes so like sad.
Yeah. And as we see, because then she has to wear this outfit to her birthday party at the park with all of her friends.
Okay, right. No, but okay. So this leads into kind of where I underlined, which I was like, first of all, she said her mom's watching me and I'm watching her, and that's how it always is. We're always connected, intertwined, one, which is a weird thing to think about your mom.
But I understand it.
We are one person. And that's a theme that we see
a lot
throughout this few chapters. Okay, but other part. She tells me, this is her mom, she tells me to put the outfit on for my party while she already starts taking off my pajamas. As she's removing my clothes, it feels more like a rip than a peel. To me, that's already sexual assault in front of the family. When you think about it, because if your clothes, she tells or asks her to put on these clothes, but she doesn't like let her do that herself. Yeah. She's in the midst of doing it to her, which just to me like reinforced the idea that they are one person.
Yeah.
And like, if it feels like a rip, you're old enough to know that, and if that's the case, like, you should say no, right?
But I think
not like blaming her.
Yeah, but I think in this moment, like she was a kid then, but only now can she articulate what that felt like, that's rip rather than a peel. When you were a
kid, that's so true.
Yeah, like
this is wrong.
She's like, right,
but I don't
know
why or
right. And so now we're reading this book, and she can articulately say what that moment really felt like.
Oh my god.
With her adult language.
Oh y'all, this it's like it'll just throw that in there casually.
And
we're just still going through the story. She's like cracking jokes. Like it's dark humor.
It's very much dark humor. And so she's talking about her birthday. We're at her birthday party, the birthday wish.
Right.
She was like, the birthday wish is the most power I have in my life right now. It's my best chance at control. I don't take this opportunity for granted. I want to make it count. We also learn that her mom has cancer at the time. And I think she gets it, it goes into remission and then she gets it again, I'm pretty sure. But she makes a big deal about like her getting over, like at this point, her getting over this cancer. And we should be so grateful. And like, she has all these home videos of when she was sick and like makes them sit down and watch it over and over again to like be reminded of how grateful it is that she's well now.
Oh my god, the nostalgia. I've never seen nostalgia that's like
dark.
Dramatic.
Yeah.
It's like reliving it. Like why, to me, whenever I pass like a dark time, I'm like throwing it under the fucking rug.
Like don't want to think about it.
In a garbage can. Then having the garbage can shipped to a different country. Like I never want to think about it again.
Right, exactly. But she's just like, nope. We're gonna sit down and watch this as a family. Like a family reminisce time of when mommy was about to die. It's like, it's already traumatic for a kid enough to watch their mother like get that close to death, but to relive it like that, I cannot imagine. I can't. And then she even gets on her. This is on page 8. And her mom calls her a stinker because
not a stinker.
Yeah, and she says stinker with such a venomous bite that it might as well be a cuss word. Oh. She goes on to say how she can't believe I wouldn't stop singing Jingle Bells at the top of my lungs when the mood was clearly sad.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I am the moment.
Yeah, this is about
gonna be
me.
Sad. And she's a kid and she doesn't even know what's going on. And she
was 2.
Living her life. Like,
yeah, she was 2.
Like, hello?
But literally, like she says, I was 2, but age was no excuse. And so she feels guilt every time she watches the video because she's like,
oh, because I was wrong.
Yeah.
And I have to see that.
And I have to see that over and over again. And every time we watch this video, you remind me of that fact.
This is dark. This is so dark. And
okay.
This is weird to say, and like maybe you shouldn't say it, but we talked about this. We're being honest with our trauma. So my mom has bipolar disorder, right?
Right. You talked about it.
Growing up, it kind of was a similar thing of like, we're so lucky that mom got through that, but we don't know when it's going to come back. So we have to live our life like with this hanging cloud. And at certain points, my dad like wanted to scare my mom into staying healthy, which like is insane.
Yeah.
But he would record her when she was manic and then force her to watch the video. So I was triggered. I was like, but to me, I was like, for my mom to want to do that was like the same as this situation. So that was like not the same.
But similar.
The similarity. It's sick.
It is sick.
It's fucked up and it's so wrong to me personally. And I would never ever do that to somebody. Like, here, look at all the pain you caused us.
Right.
Like, what?
I'm so
like,
sorry.
We should be like hugging you.
Yeah. Like, instead of being like, you see all the bullshit you put us through? Yeah. When you're in a manic state that you like cannot control sometimes?
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Thankfully, I didn't have to watch the videos, but I like saw.
You knew about it. Time. Yeah. Oh shit.
I was there.
Oh fuck.
I was there, but like my mom was like, not there, so that's why he wanted her to see it.
See it.
You need to see what we deal with.
I feel like there's a way. There's a way to do that. It's a better way to do that.
You can definitely just communicate with someone.
Yeah. Right.
And like it shouldn't be like that.
Jeez. Yeah, so she's going through that here. And that just becomes the air of the house. It's like, oh, thank God that Deborah, her mom, it doesn't have cancer anymore. It's the center of everything.
Yeah.
And so she goes back to the birthday party where she's talking about, they're singing happy birthday, da 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 da. And she's like, the time has come to make my wish. And you want to know what her wish was? I wish that mom will stay alive another year.
That's so sad.
It's...
She said, this is the only power I have. And in this moment, like, it's so selfless.
Yes.
To be like, I just want my mom alive.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But her mom is her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're intertwined.
Right. Just like at the prologue where she's like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You see?
Her wish worked, though.
For a little while.
She made it. Another year.
Yeah, you're right. Another year. So then we're going into the second chapter where now we're learning more about this pressure that she had to be perfect. And it kind of goes in that theme of like what your parents want you to be rather than like what you want to be.
Right.
So like her mom wanted to be an actress and her parents, Jeanette's grandparents, wouldn't let her do that. So now her mom is like obsessively obsessed with I was like, what's the better word?
Literally.
Yeah, obsessively obsessed. Right, with Jeanette becoming an actress. And Jeanette, like,
she's really not stoked about it.
She's not excited about it at all. And her mom literally says, I'm highlighted on page 10, I want to give you the life I never had, Net. Net is the nickname that she calls Jeanette.
Right.
And she says, I want to give you the life I deserved, the life my parents wouldn't let me have.
Like, the narcissism is so real. Because how do you look at your, like, the way she blames things on her kids, she's like shitting on her dad to her.
Yeah, that's another, they have a tumultuous relationship, seems like.
Talks to her daughter about, I could have married a doctor, I could have married this, I could have married that. And then she also, like, will say things like, I couldn't finish college and things like that because I had babies. So you're also kind of, it's like you're blaming things on everybody else as to why you didn't live the life you deserve.
Right. You didn't make the choices for yourself, so now it's everybody else's fault.
Right.
Which is not the case.
Which is so sad because as the daughter, the only daughter.
That's true. That's a good point. The only daughter.
She has to, like, the boys are, like, kind of in their own world. And, like, Jeanette's the one that, like, it really is. Is affected by her mom's, I guess, failed plans for her life. Yeah.
And so she's like convincing her like I want you to like go to Hollywood and become a famous actress. And and the other part where it's like it's an hour and a half away from their house and like her mom's like, I don't like driving on freeways, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for you because I'm not like my parents. I want what's best for you always. You know that, right?
I know, she loves
the
to
verbiage, right?
In a weird, like, twisted way. It's like, you're so pretty. You have the blonde hair and the blue eyes. They love that in Hollywood. Like, don't you think it'll be great? And Jeanette's like, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
The fuck?
If you like it, I love it. Like,
it's like she just wants her mom to be happy, which at that age. Like, these people are your whole world.
Your whole world.
Like, if her mom's happy, she's like, okay, I'm doing well. And if her mom's upset, she's like, God damn it, I have to figure out what I'm doing, fix it, and, like, make her happy again. Right. Because otherwise, cancer could come back and she could die. Like, it's so deep. Yeah. When, like, it's just this dark cloud. And it never, like, they don't even have, like, a moment of not thinking about it because she reminds them every Sunday.
Right.
During the family reminisce. You can't get away from it.
Right. And so she's having this conversation with her mom, and her mom's like, so what do you say? You want to act? You want to be mommy's little actress? And the chapter ends with, there's only one right answer.
I know, I circled that. I was like, that's scary.
Right, that's terrifying. Like, you're talking about your parents not giving you the choice to do what you want to do, and you're literally doing it to your child. And making it seem like you're doing, like, what's best for them. Like, what's best for them is to, like you were saying earlier, finding out what they like and then pouring in and supporting that.
Wow.
Not what you like.
Simple enough. But it's like all the sacrifices I made. I feel like so many parents have that complex.
Where it's like your children don't owe you anything.
I don't care what sacrifices you made. I, again, did not choose to be here. You did not have to have me. Jeanette literally says she's sorry that, like, she ruined her mom's body and she can't go out and get a new man. Like,
right.
And now she's stuck with this, her dad.
Right, her literal dad.
I mean, it's like,
yeah.
It's so hard when your parents shit on their partner, your parent, to you. It's like this weird ass situation. I think girls get put in this situation way more often than men or boys, because girls are just like, it's so easy to talk to girls.
Like as like a mom and daughter.
Wise.
Yeah.
Even dad and daughter.
I never thought about that. I would, okay.
Men love to talk to their daughter.
This is true.
They're like, oh, you're not like a woman. You're like my daughter. Like, my bro.
In woman form.
Yeah.
I'm so weak. Yeah, but it's like, and I've had that, like, my parents aren't together, so, like, I've seen it firsthand on both sides. And it's not fun being in the middle at all. It's not a fun time at all.
Because I can't go tell her. Like,
right. It's like you literally can't turn to anybody. And, like, even your siblings sometimes, like, because I was the oldest. Who the fuck am I supposed to talk to about this?
I'm not trying to put this on anybody else.
Because I don't want it myself.
Right.
Okay,
Damn.
Chapter 3. We're going into 3.
God.
We're going in. Right, it's one of those things you just gotta keep on pushing.
Keep on pushing.
Just keep pushing. So Chapter 3, we're getting into the beginning basically of her acting career, where she's going to her first audition and she's got this monologue prepared that she's supposed to say. And she's nervous out of her mind right now.
Like the first time you've ever been like weak in the knees, sick to your stomach. That's such an awful feeling.
It is. It's terrible. Like that anxiety that's building up with you, like ready to just like boil over.
It's like it won't end. You're gonna feel that way for a lot, like throughout your life. But to feel it the first time, like, it's like, oh my god,
it's not a good kind of rush.
Yeah, it's almost like a trip, like a bad trip.
A bad trip. Yep. And so she's super nervous. She gets up there to do her monologue, and the guy can like tell that obviously she's uncomfortable. She doesn't really want to be there. Like. And he's like, so her mom gave her these tips of like, do this, seem really cheery, do your hand motions. And he's like, don't do any of that.
Yeah.
But now she's got to make that mental decision like, oh my gosh, he's telling me not to do this. And like, he's the one who's in charge of getting me this job. But my mom also told me to do these things to get the job. And if I tell her I didn't do the things that she told me to do,
she's going to be disappointed.
It's like that struggle.
She's doing mental gymnastics all while like, this is the make or break moment.
Right.
If she doesn't nail this, like her mom is going to be sad. And you know Jeanette doesn't want that.
Right.
So she's like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And she does it.
Yeah, she follows his directions and he's like, that's better. It's, like she can tell it's like still not the best, but
she has natural talent.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what.
She's going to tell you right now.
Try.
Right.
The first
I didn't think about that.
With the direction he gave. Like she just... You know?
Yep. And so she gets called in and she becomes a background actor. She gets asked to be signed as a background actor.
She's like tier 2.
Tier 2. Which she finds out there is a tier 1, like these kids getting called back to be like principal actors. And she's like, I have to make sure my mom doesn't find out about this other tier that I didn't get.
It's
and
like
let's just be happy.
Your parents like, yo, everybody failed this time. Like, look, like nobody made over a C, so my C is not bad. If you think about it, it was an A.
Yeah.
Mental gymnastics.
That's what this episode's gonna be. Mental gymnastics. Oh my goodness. And so her mom's signing the contract, and now it's Jeanette's turn to sign. This is page 14 if you're keeping up with us. And Jeanette asks, what are we signing for? And her mom's like, the contract is to get an agent. They get 20%. We get 80%. And 15% of that 80% will go into a Coogan account, which is an account you can access once you're 18. And she says that's all the money that most parents let their kids have. But you're lucky. Mommy's not going to take any of your money except for my salary plus essentials.
Like essentials?
Right.
A salary.
And then the nerve of Jeanette to ask, what are essentials? And her mom says, why are you giving me the 3rd degree all of a sudden? Don't you trust me? And it's like that wording, that like thing she does when she's writing, I quickly sign. Like,
She said, look,
she's like,
nobody's coming for you, ma'am.
Right. Let me just sign my life away real quick. Literally. And so the guy comes back, gives a speech, and gives feedback to parents, and he says that Jeanette has potential, and her mom goes, potential? And he's like, she's shy. He could tell she was very nervous in her monologue, and her mom's like, oh yeah, she's shy, but she's getting over it. It's a phase.
Not a phase. You know your child.
Come on now, be fucking for real.
Exactly.
And he's just like, he says this, which I was like,
yep.
It's important that Jeanette wants to act in order for her to do well. And in that moment when I was reading it, I was like, this person who does not even know your kid.
1 second, he assessed the situation.
Right. And that doesn't set off like, Jeanette, do you want this?
She can't see herself.
She can't.
That's the thing.
It's really sad.
And Jeanette, like, he smiles at her, like, in this way where she's like, I know I'm missing something. Mm-hmm. And that smile doesn't feel genuine. Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know what
it means.
Like, the underlying. Mm-hmm. She can't read between the lines because she's 6.
Right.
But, like, it's just so upsetting. And this is, again, why I want people to go through mental health stuff before. Because he looked at her, knew what was happening, but, like, that's her mom. You can't take a kid from their mom, even if you can tell, like, this is a sticky situation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not even, like mental health does have something to do with it, but I feel like it's even deeper than that. Like, it's that bond of what, like, when you have a child, it's like, they're like, for instance, when I wasn't in a relationship and you were in a relationship and I was like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Like, why would, like, what? That doesn't make sense to me. I would have been running for the hills in this moment. And like, now there's parts of it now that I'm in a relationship that I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. I understand. Then there's still
it's
stuff.
Like a human being that you love. So
much. And it's just different, I think. And once you're there. And but like, obviously there's like,
if I start acting crazy.
Right, but there's obvious like rights and wrongs also.
Yes.
Like what's right and what's, obviously this is not the right.
This is not right.
This is not it. So I feel like it's less on that, like mental health has something to do with it. Obviously in this case, because I'm pretty sure, I don't want to like misquote, but I'm pretty sure her mom does have something.
Woman with something.
Possibly.
I'm already seeing narcissism.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he says, good luck, he says to me with a certain heaviness, and then he walks away. And that's how we end that chapter.
That one was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was. So on to chapter 4.
First day on the job.
Right. And it's like,
it's apparent that she's only doing this for her mom.
Right. And she's like, oh, there's snacks. Like, she's so excited about these snacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like that little bright spot that she gets in, like, all right, I don't really want to be here, but they got snacks.
Right. Gotta love the craft table.
Oh, and she's like, her mom is just continuing, like, you're gonna be a star, you're gonna be a star, you're gonna like be this big thing. And her mom homeschools her, and she like goes and like does school in between like scenes. And this girl is in there who's like, you don't really gotta do the homework. And she's like, nah, I'm gonna do the homework. And I said, yes ma'am.
She's a smart kid.
She is. And she's like, by the end of the day, she's exhausted. It's been 8.5 hours on set, and she just feels like she's suffocating. And her mom's just easy to go home, and she's like, oh, and you got a close up, and like people are gonna beg for you to be the principal actor after this moment, like hyping this thing up, when Jeanette's like, God, I want this to end. I don't want to be doing this.
Loving all this.
Yeah, her mom's loving all of this, which we lead into, or did you have something else for chapter 4? No?
Not really.
It was a quickie. We just see her first, like, inside of, like, being on set for the first time. And then we go into chapter 5, where we find out more about, like, her escapes that she used, which is church. They're Mormon. And we also find out about the layout of their house and learn that like how bad it is, like the hoarding situation.
Right. I was like, I mean, this seems like it sucks, but like after this chapter, I was like, oh my God.
Like it just gets worse.
It got so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was imagining existing in that environment, and I feel like a cluttered environment makes me stressed out already.
Right.
And as a kid, like you don't have much control over like what's being cleaned and what's not. You have no control.
Yeah, you have very limited control over that. And so we find out, you know, her parents don't make a lot of money, and her grandparents are also living with them at the time, and they don't make a lot of money. So they're not living like a lavish life or anything.
Right.
And literally on page 21, she says, like, she talks about her mom's job, and she says her main job is ensuring I make it in Hollywood. Yeah, like the amount of pressure that is. Literal bullshit.
Her mom is not working.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
yeah,
she blames the fact that like she couldn't like finish her hair school on
cosmetology
the kids.
School. Yeah.
And
that her dad's not making enough, and like he works too late.
But he's working, and that's my thing. It's like you're making Jeanette work, and you're saying you're her agent, but you're not acting.
You're not doing anything.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
You're literally just using this as like a reason to not
catalyst.
have a job, and like picking up shifts randomly. Like,
yeah, during Christmas time at Target, that's what she says.
Like, sorry, that's not cutting it.
Right, and also it's like you're focusing so much on this one job. What about the other 3 that you have? That's what I kept thinking about this too.
I didn't even think about that.
Like she's pouring all of this into Jeanette, but what about the other kids?
I feel like Jeanette is her, so it's pouring into her.
Yeah. It's
I don't know what's going on with the kids.
Right, we have no idea. And she just talks about how like after her mom beat cancer, like she became just such a hoarder that their house, like the setup, y'all, I mean, I can't imagine.
They're sleeping on mats.
Yeah.
Like their room is to the point where they can't
even live in it.
Which is upsetting to me that they're sleeping on gym mats.
Right.
In their living room.
Like gymnastic mats. It's really bad. But Jeanette talks about her excitement of going to church because she's like, that's 3 hours where I don't have to be in this place and I can get some peace.
But now I get it.
Yeah. And it reminded me because I was like, that was school for me. School was my escape.
You were like, look, 8 hours, that's kind of not so bad. Look.
Right. And like I was also a good student because I knew it would make my mom happy for me coming home with these good grades, being a straight A student, being involved, like all the things, like trying to please her. Oh. So like school was my escape from the crazy. That was your job. That was my school was my
your job.
Yeah, but like my job was also taking care of my other siblings in a capacity that I should not have been.
I like this job. This job feels okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about my other part-time /
I'm not with that one. And so she's trying to rush everybody out the door, and she talks about this one instance where like her brothers make cereal and like they're like just being messy and they get like the milk on the floor, and then her mom gets upset. The scene. And so her mom gets upset, and her mom's like wearing tights, and she always like, you know, steps in kind of the same area. And Jeanette knows if she steps in the milk, she's gonna be like, I need new tights. We need to stop at Rite Aid before we get to church. And they're already running behind, so that's like less time Jeanette gets to be at her escape. And so this little girl is freaking out, going to find a towel. She even described it, putting her whole body weight on the towel to try to clean up the mess so that her mom doesn't step in it. And then she needs new tights. Like the whole like.
She's doing the mental gymnastics again.
Right. Yeah. And so, but like it still happens. Her mom steps in the spot. Like Jeanette's like, I cleaned it. Like, right. Like she was so close. She's like, I'm working on it. It's mainly water.
She's like wrangling up the whole family. Because nobody's pressed about making it to church. Look, Jeanette's like, this is my time. It's obviously no one else's time. Yeah. Because they're all like, Jeanette, just shut up. You're being bossy. And she's like over here cleaning the floors.
Literal.
Meanwhile, trying to like pour their brother's cereal. Like, hello?
Get her grandma out the bathroom.
Oh my God. Yes, her grandma had a little moment, which I kind of was like, oh, because her grandma, like, Girl, what happened?
It's her. She was like in the bathroom and like she had a perm and like she was on the phone with her friends, but like she was being like reminiscent of her mom. Like you could kind of see the foreshadowing that's happening right there.
Yeah, like yes. I wish I had the words.
Yeah, and so then they, make it to church, but only like not the full time that she gets to be there. So it's like, you're like, damn, they had to stop at Rite Aid. So you're like, fuck.
Oh my God, it was like a movie. This chapter.
It really was. Like I was watching it play out in my head.
The stress was building, and she it almost seemed like she fixed it, and they were gonna make it on time, and then the floor was wet anyway.
Yeah.
And the thing that kind of got me was like she was like, I can't even explain to my mom that I clean the floor with water. She's already in her head thinks it's milk, so like the situation is just
or like it doesn't even matter because her tights are wet now she needs new tights. Like it's like it doesn't matter what the reason is. Like you're saying, it doesn't even matter what the reason is anymore.
Because I was like, I get it with the milk, like you don't want your
feet or like whatever to stink like
milk, but with the water, like it'll dry. To me, I'm like, it'll dry.
Yeah, you're like, it'll be okay. Like just air it out.
Right. To me, that's what I was thinking. But there's no like rationing. It doesn't seem reasoning.
It's like once she has her mind set, which I mean, we can kind of see once she has her mind set on something, that's it.
Wow.
It's over. Yeah. But then we move to chapter 6, which is all about her parents' relationship and also her relationship with her dad.
Oh, God. This one was difficult.
Yeah. And I was like, and this is where we end this episode? Like, oh, my gosh.
Okay. Let me get to the page.
Yeah. We're on page 27. And her dad gets home. She's like, Dad, like, oh, my gosh. Like, that excitement feeling when like you haven't seen it, like, whichever parent. And he's just kind of like over it. He's like, hey, what's up?
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm not in the mood for this. Like,
and she's like, why don't I connect with him? It's so hard with him. My mom is so easy.
Yeah, and it's like, girl. And so her mom's mad. And this is another one where I'm like watching it playing on my mind. Her mom's mad because, her dad's late. And her mom equates that to, he's like, late. 3 hours late.
Which is a long time. Fair.
Valid. Yeah. He was like, I was helping a customer. He's working 2 jobs also.
I know. To me, I'm like, at least he's working.
But she's upset. And she says, Mark Eugene McCurdy. And she's like, oh shit, that Eugene came out. I gotta run the play. I gotta run the play to de-escalate the situation.
She literally is a coach in this moment.
Yeah.
Said, we're almost to the blow up.
Right. And then her mom says 3 hours late. And then in the background setting the scene, her brothers are playing 007 new Nintendo.
This is such a, like, this to me is the dynamic of this family. This scene.
Yeah.
Because the boys are vibing on the damn Nintendo, not concerned.
Right.
And she is over here like, this is happening. This is my Super Bowl.
Right. And she's like, Mom, don't you want to watch Jay Leno? Like, let's go do something else. You don't have to worry about this right now. Distraction. It's too late though. And her mom's going up at her dad. She gets a kitchen knife and starts threatening him. And like, he's like, whoa, like, calm down, like the kids. And she's like, I would never hurt my kids. Like, how dare you think I would hurt my children? As you're like holding a butcher knife.
Big ass
knife. And she's like, get out, leave.
Out of my house. Which I was like, isn't this his parents' house? Your house? Your house. And she shits on this man all the time. In his parents' house.
That like he's really like paying for.
It's so messed up.
It's so messed up.
But he's like, you're crazy.
Yeah, and she's like, fuck you. Like she doesn't say that, but like basically. And like he leaves to de-escalate the situation. Because she lunges at him. She says he slips his shoes back on and hurries out. Mom walks back into the kitchen and puts the knife in a drawer. She falls to her knees and starts sobbing, a painful moaning wail. I crouch down next to her and hug her. Somebody wins the next round of 007. Like, as in, like, her brothers aren't even, like,
Oh, right. They're in the other room cheering.
Mm-hmm.
And she just had the most traumatic
experience.
Whatever day this is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, can we talk about some red flags in this little moment?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay, so what is it that happens? Something happens. He takes a step towards her. What did he say? Oh, he said, Deb, I'm a couple hours late. This is not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
She starts slapping him. And
basically assaulting him.
Mm-hmm. Truly. And Jeanette says, go, Mom. You got this.
I forgot about that part.
Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, we need to talk, Jeanette, because is this like a thing that happens?
I feel like we're talking. I feel like we're gonna get into it.
Jeanette, like what's going on?
But remember, she is her mom. She has to be on her mom's side. And so it's like she feels that constant need to show that of like, I'm on your side no matter what. You know what I mean?
Maybe also like her mom in previous situations, because apparently this happens like
often
every week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a little while this time, so she's like, oh yeah. But I don't know if like maybe her mom, like after a fight or something, like she challenged her, like, why'd you have to like kick Dad out? And she's like, why aren't you on my side?
Right. Or like, why weren't you help defend me when your dad was coming after?
Because
I can see both.
It doesn't make sense. Like, you're both of their kids. So to me,
but she has that very
connection with her mom.
Yes, a very I'm trying to think of the word, not traumatic, but toxic bond.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was how we ended that one.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. There's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh, okay. So her dad says you're crazy or something. And Jeanette's like, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it like sets the bomb off even further.
She's like, don't you know that is what triggers her?
Yeah.
Like, and it reminded me of like times when I was listening to my parents fight, and you hear your one parent say the one thing that really always
gets them,
and it always escalates the situation. And like, so me and my brother have these, like, we're so bonded in that way that we're like, they're so dumb, like, why do they argue? Like, they're both like not seeing each other's sides, and it's like, as the kid you see both sides often.
Because you're not in it,
you can see it clearer. And so I just thought that was like a little moment. Relatable content
right there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of relatable content. I feel like too relatable.
Too much relatable content already.
Yeah.
For me.
So next week we'll be talking about chapters 7 through, I can't do math, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 7 through 12. Let us know how are you feeling right now after we've read this? What are your thoughts? Email us at shewellread@gmail.com. Like, if you had any moments like we were having, like, oh my gosh, I remember this from my childhood, or like I connected here with this moment. Email us. But until next time, it's been another this has been another episode of She Will Read. I'm Alana.
And I'm Sarah.
Bye, y'all.